Yo, yo, yo. How we doing? Hold on, let me turn this light off. Probably glaring. There we go. Turn off the little glare in here. But welcome. This is fresh and funky podcast here. Uh, had a wonderful, great Monday Night Football game last night. You had the New England Patriots going into Buffalo, and not in the greatest conditions, I should say. 30-mile-an-hour sustained. 45 to 50-mile-an-hour gusts. Ball was flying in weird directions. But needless to say, there was points on the board. Most people would be like, well, probably was a 9-3, 7-3 ball game. No, it ended up being a 14-10 ball game was the final. Um, Congratulations to the Patriots for going there and winning. Cover. I took the under. I had the under last night, the under 39.5. And of course, the under covered. But tonight we're just gonna get into some games. We got a light NBA slate here, some college. They got the Jimmy V. You got the Jimmy V Classic, which is always a must watch. And those of you that don't know who Jimmy V is, don't know who Jim Valvano was, I encourage you to go watch his famous speech that he gave. He was a college basketball coach. He was an Italian. He was loud. He was proud. He had a lot of enthusiasm. He had a lot of passion that he brought to basketball and to Rutgers. And his life was cut short tragically due to cancer. But he had a powerful message to never give up the fight, and just it resonates with all, which resonate with all of us that no matter what the fight is, no matter what the count is, no matter if all the chips are all against you. You can never give up. You never know what might happen. You never know what might happen. And we have to have that same spirit today. And I hope that a lot of us have that same spirit. But I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for only but myself. I can't speak for other people. I'm not speaking for or against somebody or this or that, or unless it's their spoken word but I try to just only speak for mine only. So let's get into it here. We're going to get into it right away to the action here. We're going to get into the nice. Yeah. All right, let's go with this here. All right. I'm playing fantasy basketball. All right. Let's go into what to call it basketball today here. All games here. All right. Some of these games we are not betting, but we'll tell you that we'll give you the nice rundown of the slate. We got Purchase, the Panthers here. This is their obviously their first uh, NCAA basketball game here. I'm assuming it's a very small college somewhere. They're going up against Army West Point, so it's not like they're going up against a powerhouse. And Army's 4-4 on the season, so that game starts at Yeah, about 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock West Coast time. So not too long. We got Sacred Heart, the Pioneers, taking on the Rhode Island Rams. Rams are 6-3. They're at home tonight here. Should take care of business against Sacred Heart at 6 o'clock. And at 6:30, 3:30 Pacific time, we have the Virginia Cavaliers 6-3 taking on the James Madison Dukes. And the 7-2 James Madison Dukes here. Should be a pretty good early matchup here. Battle of Virginia. Both teams, I should say both colleges. Yeah, both college teams. Both colleges are in the state of Virginia. We've got the Catamounts of Vermont taking on the Providence Friars. Friars are 8-1 on the season. The Catamounts are 6-3. Should be a interesting, tough ball game here. Providence comes in on the Providence comes in minus 6.5 there. The over/under is 127.5. So I think there's going to be some points in that game here. Maybe close. Maybe you might even go overtime. We got the Oakland Golden Grizzlies from Michigan, not Oakland, California. They're 7-2, taking on the Bowling Green, the Falcons. Bowling Green's at home tonight here. Let's see, Oakland is getting minus a 1.5 to win on the spread. The over/under 148.5. So they think some points are going to be scored definitely. Despite Oakland, the Golden Grizzlies being 7-2 and the Bowling Green team being 4-4. We got Columbia International, the Rams, taking on Campbell, the Fighting Camels. Columbia International, this is also their first game, like Purchase. I mean, obviously these are probably small schools. They're getting their first action of the season. Taking on the 6-2 Campbells, the Fighting Camels here, which Campbell should probably take care of business tonight. We have East Carolina taking on North Carolina A&T. The Carolina A&T Aggies are 3-6. East Carolina Pirates are 7-2. We have Florida Gulf Coast, the Eagles, and taking on Florida A&M, the Rattlers here. The Rattlers are 2-4 on the season. The Eagles, on the other hand, are 7-3. We have the Navy, the Midshipmen, taking on George Mason, the Patriots. And Navy is 6-2. The Midshipmen are 6-2. George Mason's 4-5. Generally, George Mason's usually one of those teams that mid majors, like VC and Gonzaga that were these big mid. Now you got some other schools that are taking over as the mid major dominant. Then we have Jacksonville, the Dolphins, taking on the Georgia Bulldogs. Jacksonville Dolphins are 4-2. Georgia Bulldogs are 3-5. Georgia should probably win that game here. We got Southern University, the Jaguars, taking on Kentucky Wildcats, number 10. Kentucky is 6-1 here. I mean, Kentucky's favored to win on the spread line by 30.5. Woo. Big number. That most people are scared of those big numbers, but Kentucky this year, they're definitely rebounding from last year, along with Duke. Those teams kind of took L's, so they want to come kind of back with some avenging out here. All right, and we've got Fairleigh Dickinson. The Knights are 0-7, taking on LaSalle, the Explorers. So the Explorers of LaSalle are 3-4. Fairleigh Dickinson is 0-7, and they haven't got a win on the season yet. So maybe today might be the day that maybe Fairleigh Dickinson, or like Mitch Wilson likes to call him, Fairleigh not playing any good basketball, Dickinson. They don't even care about playing basketball really there. All right, we got the Michigan Wolverines tonight taking on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Wolverines are 5-3. Nebraska's 5-4. Should be pretty good, interesting matchup here. I mean, Michigan was touted as being, they brought in a nice class of young guys, and I guess maybe some of them decommitted or they're just not, they're just not clicking. They're just not clicking yet. So it should be a good game in Nebraska. Uh, we got UMass, the Minutemen, taking on Northeastern, the Huskies. The Minutemen and UMass come in at 6-3. The Northeastern teams at home here, they're 5-4. Should be an interesting matchup between both teams. Tend to be pretty good basketball schools. Instead of compared to their football, we have Bucknell, the Bison, taking on Princeton. Bucknell Bison are 2-7. Usually Bucknell usually has a pretty solid team, but I don't think this year's not the year. It doesn't seem like it for Bucknell. They're 2-7 here. Princeton, the Tigers, the Ivy League, come in at 6-3. So yeah, Princeton by 12.5. Then we got the Jimmy V Classic game. First one to tip off at 7 Eastern. Will be the Texas Tech Red Raiders, 6-1, taking on the number 13 Tennessee Volunteers. They're 6-1 as well. Tennessee comes in at -4.5 on the spread line here. The over/under is 137.5. Game will be televised on ESPN. Game will be played at Madison Square Garden. We have the Bradley Braves taking on the Toledo Rockets. The Bradley Braves come in on the road, come into Toledo with a record of 4-5. Toledo Rockets come in with a record of 6-2. Looks to be, a fairly decent game here. Bradley, usually another little mid-major Ohio, Ohio, Missouri Valley type conference team that generally plays pretty well basketball. So who knows tonight? But Toledo's a very, very solid basketball squad when it comes to playing in the MAC. It is in the Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Indiana. Then we have East West University, the Phantoms. It's their first game taking on Valparaiso, the Beacons. Good old Valpo, 4-5. Then we have another good game here. The Furman, the Paladins here, 6-2, take on Winthrop, the Eagles here. They're 4-4 here. So Furman comes in on the road favorite by 1.5 points, 153 points. So it should be a good game, despite even Furman being 6-2 here. Winthrop, they got a next game, we got Old Dominion, the Monarchs, 4-5, coming to take on William and Mary, the Tribe. Old Dominion is 4-5 on the season, while William and Mary is 1-8 here. So Old Dominion on the road comes in to win tonight by 7.5, and the over/under is 125 points and a half. Interesting. We have Albany and Yale. Yale's at home tonight, taking on Albany, the Great Danes. The Great Danes of Albany are 1-6 on the season, while the Yale Bulldogs come in at 5-5. Yale is -12.5 on the spread, so they got to win by 12.5 tonight. The over/under is 138.5. We got Guilford, the Quakers. It's their first college game, taking on High Point. The Panthers are 4-4. We have Brown Bears, another Ivy League school, 7-4, going on the road to play Merrimack Warriors. They're 4-5. Brown is favored to win by 2.5, and the over/under is 119.5, 119 points and a half. You're going the over/under. Next game, we got the champion Christian College Tigers. Their first game against the Houston Baptist Huskies. So battle of the Christians there. Houston Baptist, they're 2-5 on the season, while Champion and Christian College, it's their first game. We have the UTEP, Texas El Paso, the Miners taking on the Kansas Chalk Jayhawks, number 8 in the nation here. Number 8 in the nation right now here. 6-1 on the season. UTEP comes in at minus. They're 4-3 here. Kansas to win tonight by 18.5 points. Over under of 140.5. They'll definitely be chalk hawking it tonight here. Roosevelt Lakers. It's their first game taking on Lola Chicago. The Ramblers. Sister Jean. Been known as Sister Jean's team here. They are 7-2 on the season. Roosevelt is the first game tonight, so good luck to you. Hopefully you don't get blown out. Next game, we got the Eastern Illinois Panthers. They are 2-7, taking on the Missouri Tigers. Missouri Tigers coming at home at 4-4. Missouri's favored to win by 18.5 tonight. The over/under is 126.5. All right, we got South Dakota, the Coyotes. They're 5-3, taking on Northern Colorado, the Bears. They're 5-5. They're playing at home. Northern Colorado is playing at home tonight, and they are home favorites by minus 9.5 points, and the over/under is 140.5. We got the Belmont Bruins taking on the St. Louis Billikens. The Belmont Bruins come in at 7-3 on the road to take on St. Louis at home. Billikens are 7-2 on the season. Billikens are minus 2.5 points as favorites. The over/under is 149.5. Next game we have is College of Charleston. They are 5-3. The Cougars taking on the Tulane Green Wave that are 3-5. In Nowlands tonight, Tulane is minus 3.5 points on the spread. The over/under is 149.5. All right, we got the Temple Owls taking on the Vanderbilt Commodores. Temple Owls are 5-3. The Vanderbilt Commodores are 5-2. Vanderbilt comes in on the favorite on the points line at minus 8.5 points, and the over/under is 132.5. We had Dallas Christian Crusaders, their first basketball game of the collegiate year, taking on Tarleton State. The Texans are 1-7. It's your pick to who you think's going to win that game. Duquesne Dukes taking on DePaul, the Blue Demons. Blue Demons. DePaul is 6-1, while Duquesne is 3-6. DePaul comes in at minus 8.5 on the spread, and the over/under is 142.5. We got the Charlotte 49ers, 4-3, taking on the undefeated number 12 Arkansas Razorbacks. Razorbacks are minus 18.5 favorites to win tonight at home. The over/under is 143.5. We have North Dakota State Bison, 5-3, taking on the Montana State Bobcats. Bobcats are 5-4 home. They're favored to win by 5.5 points tonight. And the over/under is 133.5. Then the next game after that, we have the Butler Bulldogs taking on the Oklahoma Sooners. Sooners come in at 7-1 at home, taking on Butler, who the Bulldogs are 5-3 on the season. And like I said, usually Butlers are usually one of those other mid majors that's pretty good, but I think their talent is kind of, and their Cinderella-ness has kind of worn off. So Oklahoma is favored to win by 10.5 tonight, and over/under is 126.5. Next game we have Mount St. Mary's. The Mountaineers taking on Santa Clara, the Broncos. Santa Clara is 6-3 at home, while Mount St. Mary's, the Mountaineers are 3-6. Santa Clara is favored to win by 16.5. The over/under is 133.5. We have Villanova on the road. The Wildcats are 6-2. going to play Syracuse, the Orange. Also, that's the second half of the Jimmy Balvano Classic here. So we got Villanova. Villanova is the away team tonight. Syracuse will be the home team. Villanova is the favorite on the spread at -8.5, and the over/under is 146.5. And the next game we have Loyola Marymount, the Lions. They're 5-3 going into Tulsa. Take on the Golden Hurricanes that are 4-4. Tulsa comes in at -3.5 as the favorites of the points tonight, and the over/under is 133.5. Then we have Boise State. The Broncos are 4-4, taking on California State Northridge. The Matadors. Matadors tonight are 3-4 at home on the season, and Boise State is 4-4. Boise State is a road favorite tonight to win by 13.5, and the over/under is 125.5. Then we have Eastern Kentucky. The Colonels. Yeah, the Colonels or whatever I think they're called. They're 5-4, taking on undefeated number 16 ranked USC. The Trojans are 8 at home tonight. Favored to win by 16.5 at home tonight. The over/under is 153.5. And last but not least, we have North Dakota, the Fighting Hawks, 3-6, going to play California Baptist, the Lancers, 7-1 here. The Lancers are the Baptist team here. And California Baptist is favored to win tonight by 12.5 at home. The over/under is 139.5. And the one game that got canceled today, probably due to the vid 21, is Nevada Wolfpack 4-4. We're supposed to take on the University of Texas Arlington Mavericks that were 2-5. That game has been canceled and postponed, hopefully to be made up in a later date and time. So let's go to NBA tonight. So tonight we have we only have 3 games on the NBA slate tonight. We have the first game starting off at 7 Eastern, 7:30 Eastern time, 4:30 West Coast time. We have the Brooklyn Nets on the road, 16-7, taking on the Dallas Mavericks, who are 11-11. Dallas Mavericks, they got, will Luka play tonight? Will Kristaps Porzingis play tonight? Will Tim Hardaway Jr. play tonight? That is a big question. And we have the New York Knicks on the road, 11-12, taking on the San Antonio Spurs that are 8-14. Spurs come in at minus to win by a 1.5 at home. Brooklyn's favored to win by a 1.5 on the road, and the Brooklyn Nets and Mavericks over/under is 221.5, and Spurs are favored to win by a 1.5, and the over/under is 210.5. And last game will be the Boston Celtics, 13-11, taking on the Los Angeles Lakers, 12-12. Lakers are favored to win by -3.5 points. The over/under tonight is 219.5. All right. Kemba Walker's unsure of the future after Knicks benching. He has no choice but to live with it. I mean, at this point, DeMar DeRozan joins Jamal Green and Kobe White of the Bulls in the COVID protocol, or I should say the health and safety protocol. Ish Ish Smith becomes the fifth Hornets player in the COVID health and safety protocol list. So, all right, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, these are the bets that we have made tonight here. All right, this is the bets. This is the bet I made here tonight. I took mostly it's called college basketball. I took the Oakland Golden Grizzlies minus the 2 points. I took William and Mary on the money line tonight plus 300. I took Toledo minus the 5 on the spread. I took Texas Tech money line tonight plus 160. I took Lola Marymount money line plus 150, and I took the Northridge Matadors on the money line plus 590 plus 595. So if all those bets cover on a dollar bet, I will make $657. Next bet, me and my sister we co parlayed one together. We took the Nets minus 2 on the spread. We took the Spurs money line plus 120, Celtics money line plus 115, UMass money line plus 110, Eastern Illinois money line plus 860, James Madison money line plus 195. And if those bets cover, we get $543. So we have a chance to get $1,000 tonight on the bets here. But they're on some teams that they're definitely not the best teams. But that's definitely our bets for tonight. And this is my podcast show for the day. Just talked about you know tomorrow we're gonna get to the first injury reports. We're gonna get into the games. We're gonna talk about Thursday night football, Vikings and Steelers. We're gonna get into some more college basketball, some more NBA, of course. There'll probably be more NBA games. So, with that being said, here it's a short podcast for the day, but we like it short, sweet, and to the point. Now, hopefully, you guys go out there and make your bets. Make your bets wisely. Please bet responsibly. Please, please, if you don't have a lot of money, please don't really bet. I mean, if you don't have a lot of money, please just bet like $1, and you might have to pick 5 or 6 teams and parlay it up a little bit, justify it up a little bit, or player prop it up, or whatever, however you're gonna do it, and just But please bet responsibly. Please don't drink and drive. Please, don't be high and drive either. Don't be under the influence. Try to treat people well and right. Let's try to be. But we know that can't happen all the time. But this was the Fresh and Funky podcast. More or less telling you my broke down the NBA slate, broke down the college slate, broke down the picks I picked tonight, and that's it here. So. Maybe you might get a freestyle later on. Maybe, who knows? You never know with me. You get the picks, you get the rants, you get the raves. You never know. Like I said, I'm not here to you know beg anybody to come watch me, beg for follows, beg for this, beg for that. No, that's not why I'm here. I don't need people to co-sign. I can do this shit all by my lonesome. With that being said, please take care of yourselves. You know, be respectful, people. going into this holiday season and into a new year. Hopefully, we can have good energy. Let's manifest great energy and positive things more than negative. So, and I always put God first. God first, family, friends, everything else can, whatever. As long as God's here, number one, family and friends, number two, everything else. So, God bless. Have a peaceful and wonderful day. Blessings to all.